Hey guys, it's me, Mr. 250, and welcome back to Higurashi. So last time, we saved the day. We saved the kid. We're presumably going to go home and not get murdered before we get home. Of course, we do always have to go back through Hinamizawa to get back, don't we? I'm sure that'll go well and none of the villagers are going to stop us. But let's see. That was my first time losing consciousness. You often hear of regaining consciousness on top of a bed, but this was my first time actually experiencing it.
もしもし、大丈夫ですか?
Realizing that I was awake, a young doctor called out to me. I didn't intend to respond, but it seems my body language had told him I was conscious. My head was wrapped in bandages. The scratches all over my body had also been treated. My sense of pain also returned with my consciousness, causing me to groan from the intense pain shooting all throughout me.
起きないで横になっていてください。頭をだいぶ殴られたようですからね。24時間は特に安静にして容体を見守りたいところです。ここは私の診療所です。入江と申します。よろしく。
I remembered that this young doctor was the one in the car headed the opposite way earlier.
誰かいませんか？大石さんは。
あ、呼んできましょう。診療所の中は禁煙なんで表で吸ってもらってるんです。
Dr. Irie left the room to go call Oishi. The scenery outside the window was tinted with gold. The pouring rain had stopped, with the voices of the Higurashi heralding the cold temperature. I felt that the tone of the Higurashi's voice was comforting. Eventually I could hear heavy footsteps coming closer, which I reckoned to be Oishi's. The fog that was enveloping my head slowly faded back to reality. What had happened since then? What had happened to the boy? What about the reinforcements from Tokyo? The door to the room flew open, allowing Dr. Irie and Oishi to enter.
じゃあ命に別状はないんでしょ？
ないとお約束はできません。頭に受けた傷は初見だけでは判断が危険なのです。
わかりましたわかりました。ちょいと彼と二人で話がしたいんですが、よろしいですかね？
ええ、どうぞ。何かありましたらお呼びください。
Oishi, after basically forcing Dr. Irie outside, shut the door.
いかがですか、お具合は。
慣れないことをしたんで全身がボロボロです。
Oishi brought over a folding chair that was leaning against the wall and sat down beside the bed.
犯人たちは逮捕されましたか？
残念ながらとっくに県外へ逃げたか村人にかくまわれているかのどちらかでしょうね。まあ逃がしはしませんが。
大臣の孫は？
署で保護しています。ただ東京のあなたのご同僚から一切の聴取は取るなと釘を刺されたらしいですよ。しげちゃんが憤慨してましたっけ？
The kidnapping was a confidential matter, so his custody was also probably being kept under wraps. How the kidnapping of the minister's grandson would be handled, how it would be covered up, treated like it never happened, would be handled by the brass. This case ended without the nation going into an uproar about it. Then our job had been done. The possibility that the minister had negotiated with the perpetrators couldn't be ruled out. But something like that was no longer my concern. My role in this case was over.
ご迷惑をおかけします。公安ってやつはいやらしいところだって思ってるでしょ。
思いません思いません。お互い 日の丸から給金もらって仕事してるだけですよ。
Oishi laughed boisterously. When we first met, I was somewhat prejudiced against Oishi, but now that feeling was gone completely.
今回の事件、隠さないで大元にしてくれた方が、こっちは都合がいいんですけどね。そうすれば、黒幕の園崎本家に少しは迫れるんですが。まあ、適当に迫ったところで圧力がかかるんでしょうがね。やれやれです。
大石さんは園崎本家に今後も戦いを？
まさか。いろいろと黒い噂こそ絶えませんがね。園崎家に恨みがあるわけじゃありませんので、君子危うきに近寄らない方がいいんですよ。ね。
Oishi laughed happily, and I couldn't help but laugh along.
あ、そうだそうだ。さっき県警から署に連絡があったそうです。あなたのご同僚が名古屋に到着したそうで、今車でこちらへ向かっているそうです。あなたは名誉の負傷ですから、東京へ引き上げだそうですよ。そんなわけです。はあ、お疲れ様でした。あなたの沖宮での仕事は無事終了です。
That is, assuming you get out alive. I was being recalled to Tokyo. I inadvertently breathed a sigh of relief when I heard those words.
大石さんのご協力に深く感謝します。あなたに支払った協力金は無駄にはなりませんでしたね。
あら、冗談のつもりだったんだけどな。
Oishi took out his wallet, casually pulled out several large bills, and jammed them into the breast pocket of my shirt.
これは協力金の返済じゃないですよ。私からあなたへのお小遣いです。この辺は地酒がうまいんでね。東京へのお土産にこいつで買っていくといいでしょう。
Oishi flashed me a grin.
もしもあなたの傷が軽いようなら、東京へ帰る前にぜひ声をかけてくださいよ。おやつさんも佐藤さんもぜひあなたともう一度卓を囲みたいと言ってましたからね。
やれやれ。参ったな。
今度はこっちも小細工抜きです。純粋に楽しもうじゃないですか。
よく言いますよ。原則の警官があんなに濃い様ができるなんて。よ。
私どもとね、対等以上に撃てるメンツにはなかなかお会いできないもんです。あなたが東京に帰るのが惜しいですよ。
When I heard the words going back to Tokyo, I was reminded once again that I was relieved from my duties. Soon Yuki would be giving birth. It might still be possible to attend the delivery that I had at one time given up on. When I thought that, the pain for my injuries became trivial. I wanted to hurry back to Tokyo and see Yuki at once.
少し傷が重いふりをして沖宮にしばらく滞在しません？いいお店をいろいろ紹介しますよ。もちろんおごれなんて言いません。
申し訳ないですが、それはまたの機会にします。妻の出産日が近いんでね。早く帰りたいんです。
ありゃりゃ。それは知らなかった。それじゃあこんなとこにいちゃいけない。早く帰らないといけません。
For a while after that, Oishi asked all sorts of questions about my wife, teasing and bantering with me.
さて、具合はどうです？おきれいそうですか？
ええ、おかげさまで悪くないです。立って歩いても全然平気ですよ。
I stood up and shuffled around for a bit, what seemed to amuse Oishi.
いえいえ、ひなみ沢の病院では落ち着かないでしょうと思いまして。入江の先生は一晩泊まらせたいみたいなこと言ってますが、犯人もまだ捕まってませんし、一応 ここはあなたにとっては敵地になりますからね。
この病院は安全ではないと。
まあ、入江の先生も多少は社会的信用のあるお人です。ここにいる限りは何もないとは思いますが、赤坂さんの気分的にめいらないかという方が問題ですね。
I had relaxed a bit now that things had progressed this far, but it was exactly as Oishi had said. When I realized that this was enemy territory, I suddenly felt uncomfortable. With the only thing left for me to do was leave, the chance that I would come to harm was logically fairly low. But that didn't mean I was completely safe.
そうですね。横になっているだけならホテルのベッドでも同じな気がします。
そうでしょう、そうでしょう。私もその方がいいと思います。
At that moment, I caught a glimpse of the clock over Oishi's shoulder. It was the evening. The hours when I could call Yuki at the hospital were almost over. I wanted to tell her as quickly as possible that I would soon be back at her side.
ちょっと雪江の病院に電話してきます。ロビーに公衆電話とかはありませんか？
新婚さんはそういうの豆だな。確か会計の脇にあったと思います。ここで待ってますから、行ってらっしゃい、行ってらっしゃい。
Oishi, laughing while saying that he was jealous, opened up the window and pulled out a cigarette even though he was in a hospital room. Appreciative of how considerate Oishi was, I set out to the lobby to find the phone. The lobby was just a short distance down the hallway from the hospital room. I thought that this hospital was a bit too grand for a village like this, but of course it was nothing compared to the general hospital Yuki was admitted to. Running inside a hospital wasn't the best of manners, but calling hours would soon end, so I dashed over in a hurry. There was nobody else in the lobby. It may have been the evening, but there was nobody at the reception desk. Well, this might actually be lucky for me. I wasn't planning to have a conversation to feel guilty about, but it would still be embarrassing to have someone listen to the conversation between me and Yuki. Taking a quick look around, I soon found the payphone. Digging around in my pockets, I grabbed a few coins. I was calling Tokyo from here, so I would burn through this amount fairly quickly. I picked up the receiver and inserted a coin, then dialed the number for Yuki's hospital, which I had completely memorized at this point. Whirr, whirr, whirr. The number for Yuki's hospital had a lot of 8s and 9s, so dialing it inevitably took some time. Normally it wouldn't be a big deal, but currently any time was precious. However, I felt that something was strange as I was dialing in the number. I don't know exactly how to put it, but it was as if the receiver was too quiet. That unique white noise from the telephone line wasn't there. Somehow, I felt that I wasn't getting any feedback from the phone, and without feeling a response, I hung up the receiver to try again. The coin popped out from the return slot. I reinserted the coin and began dialing once again, but the receiver was still dead silent.
なんだこれ。断線でもしてるのかな。
While I was wasting time like this, the amount I had to spend talking with Yuki shrunk. I began to feel needlessly impatient.
すみません。
I felt the presence of someone on the other side of the glass, so I called out. There was an immediate response, and a man who seemed like a pharmacist came over.
はいはい。どうなさいましたか？
すみません。この電話の調子がおかしくて。ちょっと見てもらえますか？
The man came over and tried testing various things of the receiver pressed to his ear. Come to think of it, this was someone who worked at the hospital, not someone from the phone company. Just as I didn't know much about phones, neither would he.
あれ？なんだこれ。
The man held up the cord that connected the phone to the wall. It was completely severed. Oh man, that's spooky right there.
だから参ったな。これじゃ電話会社の人に直してもらわないとどうにもならないですね。電話でしたら事務室のを使います？
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't they have a phone here? We should still be able to call somebody. I mean, I guess the cut phone line is a little bit creepy, but at the same time, I don't know that it's exactly directed at us. I didn't want the people in the hospital office while I was talking.
近所に公衆電話はありませんか？
ここを出て道なりに行くと商店街に出ます。そこのどこかの角のタバコ屋にあったような気がするな。行けば見つけられると思いますよ。
I was dressed in a hospital gown. I was wearing sandals on my feet. My head was wrapped in bandages. Just looking at me, you could tell I was a hospital patient. No matter how you looked at it, I was not dressed to be wandering outside. But that's where the impetuousness of youth came in. Choosing the chance to talk to Yuki for even a little longer, I headed outside in my current state. Follow the road to the shopping district. Should be able to find one soon enough. With only those 2 lines as my guide, I ran outside the gates of the hospital. Yeah, you're gonna die out here. With the village nestled in a valley, when the sun set, it got dark quickly. The sparse streetlights lit up enough to start attracting mobs. The Higurashi, knowing the time for their chorus was soon at a close, redoubled their fragile cries. Finding the payphone wasn't as easy as the person at the hospital had suggested. Was it still up ahead? Did I miss it already? Was I just getting farther away? Just as I was about to be crushed by the wave of uncertainty towering over me, I found a shop in the corner with cigarettes written on a small sign. My joy spurred me onward. Just as I had heard at the hospital, set next to the counter of the cigarette shop was an antiquated payphone. I wasn't wearing a watch, so I didn't know what time it was. I probably didn't have much left, though. But it was enough. Just as long as I could tell Yuki my job was done and I would be coming home soon. Picking up the receiver, I slid a coin down the slot. But I felt like something was strange, just like at the hospital. Did they cut every payphone? Even after inserting the coin, the phone showed no response. I hung up the receiver and tried putting in the coin one more time. But there was absolutely no response. This phone was dead. It couldn't be. Thinking that, I felt along the cord that protruded from the back of the phone. Doing that, my hands found the end of a completely severed line. What is this? Having now had the same thing happen twice, my bafflement was accompanied by a sense of unease. It seemed that the cord had been severed cleanly by a sharp blade of some sort. The phone company's gonna be real upset after all this. And I may be mistaken, but it didn't look like much time had passed since it was cut. How do you know that?
すみません。すみません。
I would have just gone with the office phone, really, at this point. Opening up the booth window of the tobacco shop, I looked for someone in the dimly lit interior. Eventually, there were the sounds of someone plodding down some stairs, and an old lady appeared. The old lady's plodding in lethargic steps, for some reason, only served to make me more frantic.
タバコですかいね。
Oh, hold on a second. And back.
小さまでねんとわ。
タバコを買いたいわけじゃないんです。この電話が。
Realizing that saying the phone was broken and asking them to take a look at it was going to get me nowhere, I swallowed back my words.
この電話が壊れてるみたいなんで、 別の公衆
Maybe
電
you're
話
just
があ
gonna
ると
go on a
ころを
wild
教
goose
えてもら
chase
いたい
through
の
the
です
village of cut phones. The old lady moved her jaw up and down slowly as if chewing on the meaning of my words. It seemed that she wouldn't understand until she had digested things thoroughly.
電話そんな難儀だわ。他の公衆電話を当たってください。
The old lady directed me to another payphone that seemed quite a ways away. Her way of telling me was so long-winded that I inadvertently started to get impatient. At that moment, I spotted a clock in the dim interior of the store. The minute hand was just about to point straight up. Even if there was a phone right here that I could use, I would only be able to tell Yuki good night with the time I had left. On top of that, my destination was a remote payphone which I didn't know the exact distance to. If I was in a normal state of mind, deciding to give up the phone today would have been the natural thought process. But at that moment, I'd become somewhat stubborn for some reason. Unable to use the phone in the hospital and coming out here and still being unable to use one. There was no mistaking that I had become quite insistent on using a phone.
どうもありがとうございます。その電話ボックス探してみます。
Refusing her offer to draw me a map. Because, I don't know, we want to die? And, I don't know, I feel like, at this point, it's like, yeah, let's just go back. But, I left the tobacco shop, apparently. According to the old lady, even though the phone booth was quite far away, it would be easy to find. If I just followed this road straight down, I'd eventually find it. Sandals flapping as I ran, I couldn't help but laugh at myself. I'd admit that I was quite steadfast about calling Yuki. But there were days when I was tired or busy when I wouldn't call her. Even today, my entire body was covered with injuries, and I was dead tired. On top of that, there wasn't much time left. It wouldn't be strange at all if today was one of those days I didn't call her. But having twice been foiled trying to call her, had I become hot-headed about it? Was I like a dog who was being told to stay, with a piece of food dangled in my face?
何やってんだろうな。
Even so, I somehow couldn't quell the uneasy feeling sitting in the pit of my stomach. It was like that with the hospital phone, and the same with the one at the tobacco shop. Both cords were definitely not severed from being frayed by long years of use. The clean cuts indicated that someone had taken something sharp and deliberately cut them. But who? And for what reason? The more I thought about it, the more uneasy I felt, so I tried to push the thought aside. How much had I run so far? The scenery around me was no longer that of a shopping district, with residential buildings scattered about the lonely road. The surroundings had already gone dark. I was blatantly out too far for a quick phone call, and it was quite obvious I was far removed from the hospital. I recalled the clock I saw at the tobacco shop. It might almost be time. I'd run for quite a bit, so my breathing had grown quite ragged. If I had just wanted to hear Yuki's voice, I should have just thrown away my reservations and borrowed the phone in the office. I regretted it a little. Well then, was it about time to give up? Just when I thought that, I saw the light in front of me. I'd finally found it. It was a phone booth,